Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today quote of the day is, if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way. Assalamualaikum everyone. I am Dr. Shajia Javed, PGR Community Medicine, and I am going to present the topic of organizational designs and models under supervision of Professor Dr. Saira Afzal. Learning objectives. In today's session, we will cover health system as an organization, evaluate the role of leadership and governance, understand key organizational design, explore their subtype with limitation, explore health system model, consider challenges and opportunities in organizational designs. Learning outcome. At the end of this session, you will be able to describe health system as an organization, differentiate between organizational structure and design, explain traditional and contemporary organizational design, identify subtype of these designs along with their limitation, understand organic and mechanistic organization models, understand the new challenges and the trends. So, organization design versus structure. Organizational design refers to the process of shaping the organization structure, system, and processes in alignment with its strategies and objectives. It's about creating a blueprint for how this organization will operate. While organizational structure is the outcome of this design process, specifying the hierarchy, roles, responsibilities, and flow of information within the organization. The key elements of organizational designs. Organizational design is a process which involves decision about these 6 key elements. Work specialization. Tasks are divided into different jobs, hierarchy, the level of management and vertical lines of authority, departmentalization, the grouping of related functions or activity into the units, centralization versus decentralization, the degree to which decision-making authority is connected at single point or it is dispersed, span of control, the number of employees a manager can effectively supervise, formalization, jobs are organized and employee behavior is guided by the rules. The WHO Health System Framework. The WHO has developed a comprehensive framework for analyzing and strengthening the health system. This framework identifies the key building blocks that make up a well-functioning health system. This includes service delivery, health workforce, health information system, access to the essential medicines, health financing, leadership, and governance. This 6th block contribute to the strengthening of the health system in some ways, with the overall goals and the outcome of improved health, responsiveness, social and financial risk reduction, and improved efficiency. The role of effective leadership and governance in the healthcare organization is vital for ensuring the smooth operation and strategic direction of the healthcare organization. Effective oversight, guidance, and coordination help drive positive outcome and sustainable improvement in the delivery of the healthcare services. The common organizational designs in the healthcare organization employ various kinds of models to structure their operation. These models determine how decision-making, communication, and resources allocation occur. They can be traditional model or they can be contemporary models. The traditional models have more centralized approach with the clear lines of authority often found in the large hospitals. The subtypes of traditional designs, simple structure design. This is a design with a top-down model where the power and the decision-making authority reside with the senior management. This structure often results in a centralized approach with a clear lines of reporting and a strong focus on the control. It has advantages of clear lines of authority and responsibility, and it is efficient for standardized tasks, while the disadvantages are limited autonomy for the lower levels and the potential for the communication bottlenecks. Functional design. This design groups the employee based upon the specialized function like nursing, finance, or the administration. This model fosters efficiency and expertise within each department. It has the advantages that employee develop the deep knowledge in the specific areas. It has clear lines of communication within the department, and it is cost effective. While the disadvantages are potential for the silos and the communication breakdown between the departments and focus on the efficiency and specialization in the core function, losing sight what is best for the overall organization. Divisional organizational design. This design divides the organization into a smaller unit, each responsible for its specific product or service, like cardiology or pediatrics. This model encourages autonomy and innovation within each division. Advantages: accountability. Divisions operate independently and are accountable for their own performance. Adaptability. Each division can respond more effectively to the changing needs of their respective patient population. While the disadvantages are potential for the duplication of resources and conflicting priorities between the divisions and increasing the cost. Contemporary design. Contemporary designs in the healthcare organization often integrate elements of the various traditional models, adapting to the changing needs of the healthcare landscape. These designs are more networked healthcare organizations collaborate across different systems and settings to deliver comprehensive care. Data-driven decision-making, data analytics, and technology are used to optimize the process and improve the patient outcome. Patient engagement, patients actively participate in the care planning decision making. Value-based care. Organizations are incentivized for delivering the high-quality care at the lower cost. The subtypes are team-based structure. The team-based organizational design emphasizes the creation of a self-directed work team, which is responsible for the specific population or service. This model promotes teamwork, shared decision-making, and improved patient satisfaction. It has the advantages like it has empowerment. The teams have autonomy to make decisions and solve their problems. Collaboration, foster teamwork and interprofessional communication. Accountability, teams are responsible for the outcomes of their work and focus. It emphasizes on the patient-centered care and improved outcome. The disadvantages of this model are no clear chain of command and the pressure on the team to perform. Matrix project structure. The matrix organizational design combines the functional and the divisional structure, creating a grid-like system where the employees are reporting to both a functional manager and the divisional manager. It has advantages of enhanced collaboration and improved resources utilization, while the disadvantages are potential for the communication and conflicting demands and a complex reporting structure. Now, organic versus the mechanistic model in the healthcare. Organic model is characterized by the flat structure. It is decentralized decision making, while the mechanistic model has a hierarchy structure with a centralized decision making. Organic model is flexible. It emphasizes on adaptability and innovation. Mechanistic model has a standardized process which emphasizes on efficiency and the control. Organic model focus on the teamwork and collaboration, while the mechanistic model focus on the individual task and the role. The advantages of organic model is it has agility and responsiveness. It encourages innovation and creativity. It has better adaptation to the change. While the mechanistic model is predictable and stable, it has clear lines of authority and it efficiently uses the resources. The disadvantages of organic model is it is uncertain and ambiguous. It has potential for the confusion and overlap. While the disadvantages of the mechanistic model is it is inflexible, limited innovation, and poor adaptation to the change. Value-based care model. Value-based care model emphasizes providing the high-quality care at a reasonable cost. It focuses on the outcome. The value-based care model reward providers for achieving positive patient outcome rather than simply performing their services. Data-driven approach, healthcare provider use data to track the patient outcome, identify the areas of improvement, and tailor treatment which is based upon their individual need. Patient engagement. Value-based model encourages patients to actively participate in their own care, making informed decisions about their health. Coordination of the care, value-based care model emphasizes seamless care transitions between providers, ensuring continuity of the care. Accountable care organization model. The ACO model is a value-based care model where healthcare providers collaborate to deliver coordinated care to a defined patient population. This model emphasizes quality, efficiency, and cost-effectiveness of the care delivery. They have shared risk and reward. ACOs share in the financial risk and reward for the health outcome of their patient. Coordination of the care. Multiple providers work together to ensure the seamless care transition and avoiding unnecessary services. Data sharing analytics. Data is used to track the patient outcomes and identify the areas for the improvement. And focus. Improving patient health by controlling the cost and reducing the unnecessary care. Patient-centered medical homes. Patient-centered medical home models are the primary practices that prioritize the patient overall well-being. They provide a comprehensive care with a wide range of services, including the preventive care, chronic disease management, or the mental health services. Patient-centered approach. It emphasizes on the patient engagement, communication, and the shared decision-making. Team-based care. It utilizes a team of healthcare professionals, which include physicians, nurses, and pharmacists or social workers to provide the coordinated care. Integrated Delivery System, IDS. IDS aim to coordinate care across multiple settings to ensure the continuity and the patient-centeredness. They integrate different levels of the healthcare providers, services, and technologies to deliver a seamless patient experience. It can be vertical integration, ownership, or the affiliation of the different levels of the care, such as hospital, clinics, and the home healthcare. Horizontal integration, collaboration between the providers at the same level of the care, such as multiple hospitals within the region. And virtual integration, utilizing technology and the telemedicine to connect providers and the patients remotely. Telehealth and the remote patient monitoring. Telehealth platform enable the patient to consult with the healthcare providers remotely, eliminating the geographical barriers and providing convenient access to the care. Remote patient monitoring devices collect the data on the vital signs and the other health metrics aligned for the proactive management of the chronic condition. It is done with the virtual consultation. Patient can connect with the providers via the video calls, phone calls, or the messages. Remote monitoring devices track vital signs, medication adherence, and the other health data. Data analysis, healthcare providers use the data from monitoring devices to make informed decisions about the patient care. Public health organization models, there are different models in the public health. Bureaucratic model, traditional model which focus on the hierarchy, clear rules, and a stable operation. Network model, it collaborates between different organizations, promoting the flexibility and innovation. Professional model. It emphasizes on the autonomy of the professionals within the organization. It is often seen in the large healthcare settings. Population health model. It focuses on the health outcomes of a group of individuals encompassing the distribution of the such outcomes. If we consider the example of the WHO regional offices, these are organizations which are based upon the different geographic region. Each region operates semi-independently. It focuses on the specific health challenges of their region. The application in the public health is that it allows for the tailored public health strategies that consider regional differences in the health needs, resources, and the cultural context. Center for the Disease Control and the Prevention (CDC). It is a highly hierarchical structure with a clear chains of command and specialized department like infectious disease, immunization, or the health promotion. It has a centralized decision-making approach, formalized procedure, and a strong emphasis on the policy adherence. It results into the effective management of the large-scale public health responses and ensuring the continuous implementation of the health policies across the country. If we consider the global health partnership like Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, it is a collaborative network involving government, NGOs, international organizations, and the private sector partner. They has a decentralized and a flexible approach which focus on the partnership and collaboration to achieve the shared goal. It enables a pooling of resources and expertise from the different sectors, improving the reach and the impact of the public health initiatives, particularly in the low resource settings. Comparison of the model. If we compare the model on the basis of efficiency, patient outcome, flexibility, and ease of implementation, the functional models are highly efficient, but they have lower flexibility. The visual model have high patient outcome and they have moderate flexibility. Metrics model have high collaboration, but they are difficult to implement. ACOs and IDS, they have high patient outcome, but they require a strong coordination. Recent updates. World Health Organization published the World Health Report in 2000 on the health system improving performance. It shows that although understanding the healthcare system is a complex set of interaction, but certain conclusions were very clear. It shows that the health of the people is always a national priority. Government is always responsible for the continuous and the permanent healthcare of the people. If we spend dollar for dollar on the health, the result would be a large number of the preventable deaths and the life which are stranded by the disability. Health systems are not just concerned with improving the people's health, but they also need to protect them against the financial cost of the illness and the healthcare expenditures. Lastly, the government needs to harness the energies of the private and the voluntary sectors in achieving the better health of the health system performances while offsetting the failures of the private market. And we need to have the oversight of the entire system, avoiding the tunnel vision and turning the blind eye to the system failings. The WHO health system building blocks were used to assess the performance of the public healthcare facilities. A quantitative cross-section study was conducted in the 5 public hospitals in the Ethiopia, which shows that the overall performance of the public hospital was 60% when weighted against the WHO building blocks. The study proved that the WHO health system building blocks are useful for assessing the process of strengthening the health systems. Health system resilience. Health system resilience is the capacity of the health system to proactively foresee, absorb, recover from, and adapt to the shocks such as pandemic, climate changes, geopolitical conflicts, and cyber threat. As the countries are recovering from the COVID-19, watching the overall capacity of the health system is more critical than ever. Health system resilience must be prioritized as one of the key objectives for the high-performing health systems. In order to provide the total care, global public goods for the health and a pandemic preparedness and responsiveness should be used to invest in the health system resilience to protect the people's underlying health, fortify the foundations of the health system, and bolster the health system professionals which are working on the front line. The future of the health system, rapid population aging, tight healthcare budgets, a shortage of the healthcare workers, and the recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, they are all putting a strain on the healthcare system. The policies need to be made effectively and immediately to ensure that the high quality care is available to all while keeping spending levels sustainable. Revolutionizing healthcare, how telemedicine is improving the patient outcome and expanding access to the care. The systemic review investigates the telemedicine effects on the patient outcome, access to the care, and its role in effective health landscape. It is concluded that the telemedicine significantly improved the patient outcome, access, and satisfaction in the chronic disease. And by the telemedicine platform, the potential to transform the global healthcare delivery can be implemented. The challenges of the healthcare organizational planning and the design. Healthcare organizations need to maintain a balance between the access and equity, efficiency and the quality, and the robust design and flexibility. And they face certain challenges. like the resistance to change, culture and operational inertia, resources constraint, financial, human, and technological limitations, regulatory compliance, navigating complex healthcare regulations, maintaining quality, ensuring high standards while adapting to the new models. Future trends in the healthcare organizational designs, digital transformation, telehealth, AI, and electronic health records integration, population health management, focus on the preventive care and managing chronic condition, patient engagement, increasing patient involvement in the care decision, adaptive structure, flexibility to respond to the pandemic's demographic shifts and technological advances. Keeping in his mind of improved citizen health, efficient health system, and a vibrant health economy, the health system is transforming from being reactive to more proactive and predictive. Instead of one size fitting all, it is becoming more and more personalized. Institutes are being centralized, and the patients are being empowered in their decision making. And instead of volume based, we are moving towards a value based care system. Now, time for the MCQs. Number one. A healthcare system is implementing a metric structure where the healthcare professionals report to both their functional department head, like nursing, radiology, and the project manager of a specific patient care initiative. What is a potential challenge for this organizational design? A. Role of confusion and conflict of interest. B. More patient involvement. C. Implementation will be cost effective. D. Greater reliance on the middle management. E. Reduce local flexibility.
A.
The answer is A. A healthcare organization wants to improve innovation while maintaining operational efficiency. Which organizational structure would best support its goal? Functional structure, divisional structure, flat structure, metric structure, or the bureaucratic structure? The answer is D.
It's D.
Yes, the answer is D. A healthcare organization is considering adopting an integrated care delivery. What is the most significant benefit of adopting an integrated care delivery model? A. Increased specialization. B. Improved continuity of care. C. Higher profit margins. D. Reduced staff workload. E. Development of new technology.
B.
B is the correct answer. To improve efficiency and reduce redundancy, a hospital wants to integrate service across various departments. Which organizational approach would be most effective for them? A. A siloed structure. B. A metric structure. Divisional structure. D. Integrated care model. And E. Hierarchy structure.
D.
D is the correct answer. Yes, D is the correct answer. Number 5. A hospital wants to enhance the patient engagement and empowerment. For this, they need to implement what kind of design? A. Implement a patient-centered care model emphasizing the shared decision-making. B. Adopt a disease management model focusing on the provider-driven care. C. Establish a management care model prioritizing the cost constraint. D. Develop a population health model targeting community outreach. E. Establish a traditional model with a strict hierarchy system.
Alpha.
A.
A is the correct answer. 6. A large medical organization has a hierarchy organization structure implemented. The characteristic of this system is A. Flat decision making. B. Decentralized authority. C. Clear chain of command. D. Flexible rules. E. Patient welfare.
D.
C.
C. Clear chain of command is the correct answer. Number 7. In a large healthcare system, different hospitals specialize in specific service like pediatrics, cardiology, and oncology. This is an example of which type of organizational structure? A. Functional. B. Matrix. C. Divisional. D. Flat. E. Bureaucratic.
D.
C.
B. Matrix.
C. Divisional structure. Number 8. A healthcare setup that specializes in providing elderly care services want to ensure that all its facilities are consistent in service while being responsive to the local community needs. Which of the following structures should the organization consider? A. Centralized. B. Divisional. C. Traditional. D. Functional structure. And E. Decentralized structure.
D.
B.
B. Divisional structure is the right answer. Number 9, a healthcare industry is experiences challenges with the resources allocation and conflicting priorities between the managers. Which type of organizational structure is most likely to be in place? A, functional structure, B, matrix, C, flat, D, divisional, E, hierarchical.
E.
B matrix.
B, matrix is the right answer. 10. A medical organization want to improve communication and collaboration among physicians, nurses, and support staff. They have to implement what kind of organizational design? A, implement a solid structure with separate departments. B, adopt a matrix structure promoting cross-functional teams. C, establish a flat organizational design with a flexible rules. D, implement a bureaucratic structure with a strict protocol. And E, establish a traditional model.
C.
B.
B.
B is the right answer. This is the key for the MCQs. The link to our YouTube channel. Thank you.
ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच जी। आप मुझे अपने जो MCQ नंबर 6 और 7 है, प्लीज आप मुझे शो करें कि आपने वो कहाँ कॉन्सेप्ट्स प्रेजेंट किए थे इन योर प्रेजेंटेशन।
मैम ये जो 7th वाले
आप 6 नंबर MCQ पे जाएं और अपनी फिर प्रेजेंटेशन में वो स्लाइड शो करें, और इसी तरह 7 नंबर MCQ पे जाएं और मुझे वो प्रेजेंटेशन में स्लाइड शो करें।
मैम 6 नंबर है हायरार्की ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्ट्रक्चर इम्प्लीमेंटेड। ये ट्रेडिशनल मॉडल है और ये इधर प्रेजेंट है, दिस वन।
शो मी द स्लाइड।
मैम दिस इज द स्लाइड द ट्रेडिशनल हायरार्की स्ट्रक्चर।
Okay, and now please show me the MCQ number 7 and the slide where you have presented it.
Okay, ma'am. This is the 7th MCQs. And the slide is this is a slide of functional designs.
Now please let me know where you have presented exactly what you have presented in your MCQ.
Ma'am, the MCQ was it is different hospitals specialize in specific service like pediatric cardiology or oncology, and I have stated it there.
Okay, thank you very much. A very nice presentation and very well done. This is one of the presentation that I have liked it. And at 8:30, you don't have to ask again for the permission, because we all are here to listen to you. So you should start at the right time. Okay. So very well done. Thank you very much for a very good presentation. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, ma'am.
Allah Hafiz.